All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something incredible. We've understood that once again, we're on a precipice. Jubilant June is coming to an end, and we're merging into July. And I want you guys to really think of the theme of July. So today we're going to be breaking down this meme we created a while back on Primal Sutra. Oh man, there's hawks outside my window. I know this is going to be a good one. So, Uncle Makara, all relations. Okay, let's get started. I want to just share the whiteboard. Let's see, I had one saved. Okay, cool. Awesome. And also, Ryan G is here today. You guys are going to meet him if you haven't already. My business partner, facilitator, best friend. All right, man. Let's get started with this. I think this is really, really interesting. So the difference between the lost soul as well as the priest beast archetype, I think is really, really interesting. So let's start with the lost soul, and then we can have a discussion about this. So the lost soul archetype, disarray is their existence. So this just basically means that they're struggling to find focus. They're struggling to find meaning in their activities that they're doing. So that means being scattered is the norm for them. Like being aimless is the norm for them, right? And you might feel like this right now, tapping into where is this fully bringing me more towards my connectedness and focus again and my flow state. Second is we look at perpetuating generational curses by not taking action on it, by being completely unaware that they have any traumas or generational curses, and harming their tribe as a byproduct, right? So they're unable to break free from negative patterns. It could be cultural conditioning, and their actions bring harm or trouble to their community. And of course, let's go with embodies a repulsive, dissonant aura. Okay. That means they emit an unsettling energy that repels others, creates more discomfort than comfort. And they also embody a kind of energy that is not settled in well, right? So it's not really amplifying him or her to move forward in life. Okay. It's repelling people away from them instead of attracting and bringing people towards him more. So, man, already this sounds kind of like some people that I know as well. It's interesting. Ryan G, what do you have to say about this, man? The lost soul archetype, because we've heard in the Disney movie Soul how, obsession leads to like a franticness or uh this idea of being scattered or lost or being in disarray. What's coming up for you? Anything coming up for you, brother? I know Ryan G is on the road, so he might not be able to talk. Uh, but yeah, he'll tap in when he does then. Okay. Next, we have rejecting spiritual growth and stagnates. This means that they avoid opportunities for spiritual development and they're actually remaining very stuck in their ways, right? Lost in despair, basically showing the fact that they see no path to improvement or enlightenment. They feel helpless, lost, and also hopeless at the trifecta. So, oscillating between chaos and rigidity, they swing from an unhealthy balance of being too rigid or being completely in chaos, unable to find a healthy balance, or staying in the neutral, which is what we believe in. As the priest beast, we become the witness uh, to these extreme realities happening, right? Being at the center of the merry-go-round watching the chaos spin around. So that's um let's find the differences as well as we look at the priest beast archetype. You guys will get it. So the next one is they reject spiritual growth and they stagnate. So they avoid opportunities for spiritual development and they remain stuck in their ways. So, okay. So Ryan G says that he's just parked. So Ryan G, do you want to speak about this archetype, man? This is basically the opposite of the priest beast, what's been done here.
Let's see here. So anyway, YouTube land, good to see everybody or speak to everybody. My name is Ryan G, other co-founder of Primal Sutra. Let's see, start my video. Can you see me?
Yep.
Yes. Right.
So,
So the Lost Soul is pretty much the exact opposite of the Priest Beast, or however you want to name it, right? He without purpose, you know, will not reach what he wants to reach. He without goal
yeah.
is a ship without a destination kind of situation. But now what you see here is how everything has been broken down into the basic memes of what you can expect.
Yeah.
If you recognize any of these and you find yourself in the current situation, then brother, sister, or however you identify as, it's time to get real. And
Yeah.
I don't care whether you start to work with us, with IMC Nation, with Grail of the Serpent, Aphrodite's Prince, I don't care. What is important in this live or in this lecture, whatever, is that you wake up. That you start to realize that it's time to turn the mirror towards yourself and ask yourself whether one, you're happy with you, where you're at, with
Mm-hmm.
your life, with your situation, and if the answer is no every time, then my brother and sister in Christ, it's uh it's time to step up. It might not be your fault that you're in whatever predicament that you're in,
Mm.
but it is
Yeah,
your
man. I
responsibility.
mean, it's so interesting, Ryan, because this archetype is like all based on like wounded. It seems this person is very wounded, right? He's gone through some trauma. Maybe they were cracked as a child. Maybe they're drinking, beer, thinking it's titty comfort or whatever. They're drinking alcohol, right? The love of the
Right,
mother, or they're like using gluttony and they're not able to separate their weights from their actual health. Like they're not able to see that gluttony is an actual thing that they have to overcome.
right.
Also, like the opposite of addiction is connection, so they're probably isolated just by themselves without tribe. And yeah, like what do you think about this? What repels women, right? What do you think makes them repel women? Like if they're opposite of priest beast.
It's I think
Well played, by the way.
the first thing that comes up, well, that's a possibility. Um, Anti-seductive qualities as per Robert Greene's book, The Art of Seduction.
Yes, definitely.
If someone is repelling me, that means I'm so disgusted by what he or she is, and I don't want him near me.
Right.
Could you imagine someone like that? I can name a few. I can name a few people that might not be a sexual thing per se, but I can't stand them. It could
Mm.
be an argument for shadow work, but I just don't want to be near those fuckers. So I can imagine, yeah, repelling women, similar to alienating men.
Mm-hmm.
If women would present, and I'm translating it from Dutch, what would it be? The continuation of the gene pool. Men would have to have survival value. And if you stand against your own survival, then I can see why you could be a liability to the tribe. And I can
Yeah.
see why true victim mentality and blaming others for whatever ails you, that you're not just alienating men, but your
Yeah.
family, the potential tribe, etc.
Yeah, you're trying
So
to
this is
fit in, but
also
like a lot of these guys, they're trying to fit into society. But bro, what about the death of your soul? You know what I mean? Like
what do you
it's
mean?
really like a lot of people they stay in like a place that crushes their soul, or like they're in situations that just make them feel like a victim, because a victim also craves abusive treatment, right? Subconsciously. It's wild. So I'm not what happened to me, I'm what happened after. I'm what, I become. How do I
Right.
how people respond to it is how it defines them. So some people respond to victimhood as this really negative thing. Maybe you were a victim, but it's your choice to be the victor, and that's what we
That's
stand.
funny. That's funny because I was listening to some motivational videos in the morning, and
Mm-hmm.
it did came up. Uh, your life is what you tolerate, and over a
Mm,
long period of time, you, as the author and director of your life, have taught people that it's okay to treat you in a certain way because
right.
you think it's okay for you to be treated in a certain way.
Mm,
And thus, if you're asking yourself, why are people treating me well or bad or whatever, then a better question is, how, in what ways have you allowed this to happen?
right.
Because it's happening to you, it's happening for you, etc. However you want to look at it.
Mm.
And
Let's go through some. Yeah.
until you decide to make a change, you can stay in the rut for all I care. What were you going to say, Sumit?
Yeah, let's go through some of these other ones. So basically there's like three left, or four left. Stuck in time. That's an interesting one. Unable to progress. So they feel that they're trapped by their circumstance, or their time. And yeah, I think if you're trapped in time, that means that you're stuck in the 3D illusion. You're tapped out
I
of
can see that.
5D. You're tapped out of the
I can
spiritual
see that.
world. Yeah. Where you're in timelessness
Uh,
in spirituality, when you're tapped
when
in.
yes, but that's more so when you get into flow, etc. Right.
Yeah.
When I read stuck in time within the context of the law, so what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing
They're spinning
is
their wheels almost.
exactly. It's the
Yeah.
hamster that keeps on pushing and it gets nowhere.
Right.
It's like storylines, thoughts, emotions that do not serve the individual, that for some reason this individual cannot let go of. And because
Mm,
he cannot let go of it, he stays there for however long, right? I
yeah.
mean, I've been in very similar situations when it came to, let's say the relationship storyline, where because of what happened, I wasn't particularly fond of dating anymore until I, forced myself into a situation, not just, dating, but trying to understand what the relation taught me and and how I can grow from it.
Yeah.
Reconnecting back to my life's purpose and being better in spite of what happened,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Because you can
exactly.
choose to be the victim of circumstances or the victor despite circumstances. The choice has always been yours.
Right. And there's something called post-traumatic growth, right? It can make you or break you, and I'd much rather have it make me into something incredible rather than destroy me. That's most, but and I put this little hamster, image as you said, Ryan, because I found it very on point, because the hamster, once it thinks it's winning the race, right? But it's going around in circles. So, um,
Uh,
or like
well,
the example of the
the
rat
joke
race, like you're
is,
still a rat when you win the race. So, yeah,
remember that anime Hamtaro, and the song starts or the intro starts with it's Hamtaro time. And the
yeah.
joke is These are hamsters that continuously escape the cage that they've been put in,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And then go on adventures.
Mm.
Not per se to escape their cage, but they almost turn the cage into their home, and they can always go back to it.
Right.
And then looking again at victimhood mentality, or however you want to name it, right? Give it the label. Become aware that a lot of us can be in that state of mind, but it's even more sinful to keep staying in that state of mind. You know, it's the same thing with anger. I can get angry, but it's a bigger sin to stay angry longer. Same
Yeah.
thing with feeling incompetent. I hate feeling incompetent, but staying incompetent is a bigger sin,
Mm.
right? Because then I'm choosing to be a liability for what? For who? Why? It's the same
Yeah.
thing with self-sabotage. Why am I
Yeah.
self-sabotaging myself? Why is there a need to hate on myself? That doesn't make sense. Either
Right.
I managed to catch some dumbass energy or thought from someone else or whatever, and I would then recommend, instead of, you know, sulking, why don't you just sit with it and ask yourself whether this even serves you? And if the answer is no, do something else. How about you
Yeah.
do some push-ups? How about every time you get depressed, max out the amount of push-ups you can do and see, would you rather be skinny and depressed or muscular and depressed?
Mm.
There's always a better
Good point.
situation. There's always a better situation. I want to go to the better situation.
Yeah, and I think
And
the
if it
media
is,
that people watch also, Ryan G, that, like a lot of the media romanticizes pessimism and being cold-hearted and being depressed, and like a lot of the Dexter or like any of these shows, I mean, for that matter, like they're all like serial killer stuff, or like very like American Psycho's coming back as a popular meme. It's like all of this stuff is just based on like kind of mental illness disguised as coolness, or like being alpha or whatever. Like a lot of it,
uh,
yeah, seems like it has that effect, So again, I think the next one is interesting. Unbalanced chakras, right? Like not a lot of people look at the chakra system, but the spiritual
okay,
ones that do and understand it, their lives change knowing that their energy centers and their energy flow is out of alignment, and I need to get back into alignment and reach my objectives through understanding where my weaknesses are at actually. But
yes,
you tapped out of the chakra system, not knowing about spirituality, you're losing on that. You're getting energy leaks from all these places, right? Right, without even knowing it. Sometimes an entity is taking energy from you, or you know. And this is why it also says disconnected from supportive entities. They're cut off from any kind of
right.
spiritual assistance, and they feel unsupported, and they're saying they're alone when really they might be overcrowded with deities in their home, not even knowing it,
Could
you
be,
know? So,
could
yeah, it's
be.
awareness. And the last one,
Uh,
what you said, Ryan, the weak, fragile energy, right? Like the lacking strength and resilience of the priest beast. Like you need endurance in this game. You gotta know how to push through
um,
different moments, but also
let
take
me say
breaks.
something on that. On
Yeah.
that, um, as I've
Spiritual
matured in this
endurance.
path working,
Yeah.
and as I've been doing so much at the same time. I mean, while going to work, I'm doing a quick podcast with you, etc.
Yeah.
It almost becomes like a game.
Mm-hmm.
And the if I just take the game serious, I'm gonna have a bad time,
Yeah.
right? But if I just focus on having fun, I uh, I might not take serious what I need to take serious, like my health, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the priest beast is then being almost playfully competitive, if you want to name it like that, or label it
Mm.
like that, just playfully competitive.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to win in whatever area that I'm partaking in. Combat, dancing, relationships, business, career, studying, academics, whatever. I want to win, and that's the end of it.
Well,
But
yeah,
winning
also rituals,
without
right?
having fun doesn't make sense. What do you mean?
Well, because I feel that play in the spiritual world is ritual because um it's creating the opportunities for that being fully present, being in the now. And that's what makes her attracted to you is through presence, not now or the future, unless you're future projecting, obviously, like, oh, let's get divorced or
Yeah, but
whatever, right? Like
that's
that's
something
different.
else.
That's different. So yeah, I think play
Um,
play in the spiritual
did you
realm
ever?
is that, ritual is yeah.
You remind me of when I was back in Suriname, that's in South America, and I was very
Mm-hmm.
young. I used to play house with the local kids, and some of the kids would then be the children. I
Right.
would then be the husband, whatever, and
Yeah.
we would then cook for each other, and we just
Yeah.
play pretend. But in order
Right.
to play pretend, you had to be so playfully present,
Mm-hmm.
right, as the role that you're playing as, that
Mm-hmm.
of course, dad would do this. Dad would take care of the kids, bring home the groceries and the money, etc. Mom would cook, etc.
Mm.
We're playing traditional roles in this case, in this context, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe some drama would happen. And
So
the
Andrea's
point
asking
I'm making
Ryan
with
that
this,
she got kicked off her bike yesterday. What lesson can she learn from this?
first things first, is the bike okay? And I'm making jokes just to make light of it.
Hope so.
You know, I'm a Dutchie. I love my bikes.
Hmm.
Um, the second thing would be, what can I learn from getting off a bike?
I think balance for
Well,
me,
you're
bro,
still gonna have to
because
right.
it's like two wheels, so it's like it seems to me you need to find your balance again.
Oh, well, that could be it. That could be it.
No.
The thing is, are you angry at the bike, or are you angry at yourself, or are you angry at the ground? The answer
Hmm.
lies in you shouldn't be angry at anything. It's merely an event that happened, and whenever the accident has caused within you or without you, it can heal if you choose it to heal. And if there's
Yeah.
any lesson to be learned, it's a lesson about resiliency. I remember my dad telling me that it took a while for me to learn how to ride a bike.
Mm.
And the story went basically like I would ride and fall for maybe weeks until I got it.
Mm.
So then for, I don't know, like 5 or 6 year old Ryan, to you, Andrea, ride it until the wheels fall off, man.
Yeah.
Ride until the wheels fall off. If you need to go from A to B, then B is your purpose. Ride that shit until the wheels fall off. And if it if it's needed for you to build resilience through this metaphor of falling off your bike and getting back on it, so
Mm.
be it.
So be
I
it.
hope this
Swaha.
answer has been satisfactory.
Awesome, man. Let's go to the priest piece because this is an exciting one. Yeah.
Okay?
All
Which one?
right. So I'll
Okay.
just
Yeah,
go
I remember
in.
this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll just go in a row. So let's go with flow state is their religion. Okay, this basically means they've achieved a state of complete absorption and effortless focus and activities that's central to their belief
Right,
system and their lifestyle.
right,
So,
right.
how would you say that, Ryan, or like how flow state is their religion? Because
Um,
altered state
do I
binds
see the
them.
flows? Well, I can see why it could be seen as a religion. For me personally, it's more so a system. A
Mhm.
system to get me from A to B in the most enjoyable way
Yeah,
possible.
it's a
If
smooth
I'm gonna
vehicle.
win
Yeah,
anyway, I might as well enjoy it. And
right,
if I lost for whatever reason, then at least I had fun and it was fun learning what I need to learn. And that's
right.
what the flow represents to me.
Yeah, we got to make a priestess beast one for this as well, but it's pretty much the same. Like, yeah, uh, definitely. Like this would be goddess in training. Instead of charismatic, it would be allure. So yeah, we
Sure.
could make one, sure. But yeah, the next one is generational curse breaker and healer of his tribe. I think
Ah,
having
I can say a lot about that.
yeah,
So
ending
the
negative
reason
patterns.
why exactly, I tend to be the more logical minded between Sumit and myself. And because I'm a data analyst
That's cap.
and
No, I'm
my
just
nine
playing.
to five,
I'm just playing. It's very true. Yeah, go ahead.
because I do a lot of things with data, I tend to
Hmm.
look at patterns. If there's a lot of patterns that are within the family that are clearly not benefiting us, it might be related to some shared trauma, very likely passed from generation to generation.
Yeah.
And if one thing that I don't like is inefficiency, that doesn't benefit me. And
Mm.
if, let's say, anger, like a lot of Indian people have a lot of short fuses, at least the ones that I know. I know how it is in India, but it's
Yeah.
temporary.
I think it's because
And
of
then I found
repression too, bro, because a lot of people they repress their emotions and then of course it's going to pop out in an unhealthy way. It's like trying to put a bouncy ball in a swimming pool. It's like, hey, it's bound to pop up if you don't take care of it and
the bounce
process
pop
through
up.
it. Yeah. So yeah, that's
Right.
I mean a lot of people focus on ancestral wounding instead of ancestral strengths too, and that's something that we want to change as well. Of course there
Yeah.
is wounding, but there's also incredible strengths that your ancestors possess, and I'm pretty sure you might have experienced some of that, getting some random download from your family tree, like just meeting your some of your relatives and getting some new insight. Like it's always there's always a next level.
Yes, there is. I mean, with this pad working, funny things happen even to my closest family members, like how my mother's father sent positive energy to some big ass goldfish in
Mm.
some random creek that we were happened to be visiting
Mm-hmm.
as a reminder, of the golden shadow. But basically, what Granddad said was, stop pussyfooting, do what you gotta do to win.
Mm.
That's basically what has been said.
Mm-hmm.
And if talking of shit and getting shit done means true action, true guided action, true strategic action, true purposeful action, healing myself, getting to where I need to be in order to do what I need to do to get the job done, then
Mm.
so be it. I will break whatever trauma or hex or curse that I need to break to get what
Mm-hmm.
I need to get. And that's
Right.
all I want.
Yeah. The next one
I'm
is
guessing
embodying a tantric charisma, like a tantric riz, as we call it. And, that's about
this is more so your
magnetism.
specialty. But the way
Yeah.
I understood it is if we replace tantric with life force or health,
Hmm.
he who is or she who is most healthy tends to be most fertile. And you can tell, at least as a man, when a woman is ovulating. You could tell, like
Hmm.
her skin is glowing, she's happy.
You're more
It's
drawn in, right?
great.
Yeah.
You're
And
very drawn in as a
that's the
man.
thing. Even as a priestess beast listening to this, your sensual energy can draw people in. And that's really important to
Yes,
consider. And also,
yes,
I love this one, man. Collecting spiritual upgrades for fun. That's so us. Like we're just like, next, please.
yes.
Attunement,
So,
like seeking
so to make this
enhancement.
concept simpler for those who are tuning in and don't know much of us, imagine if life is a game, right? And you have the physical hardware, you have the mental hardware, you have the spiritual software or whatever, right? A lot of people tend to ignore the spiritual part and think it's just meditation.
Mm,
What if, imagine, right? What if you're connected to, let's say, a whole bunch of spiritual lineages, but you don't know you have it?
Right.
What if you found out that you are connected to these spiritual lineages and you can tap into them and thus not only make your life easier, but way more fun? What if I told you that fun could be flavored? What if I
Mm.
told you that your ancestors might have, let's say, warrior codes or merchant codes that might be very relevant for this lifetime that you're experiencing? And what
Yeah.
if we told you that we could help you with that? And that's kind of what we mean with this path working is pretty fun because you get to not just experience the spirit guides aspect, which we'll talk about later, but
Yeah.
also you get to find out more about your bloodlines. You get to find out more about who you're connected with and
Right.
what you need to do to get both the blessings and the spiritual upgrades.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
let's say
maybe you're
this,
maybe
right?
somebody's an ascended master in disguise too, like they don't know it.
Could be,
Yeah.
could be. I have my hunches. Who amongst the adepts could be an a reincarnated ascended master,
Yeah, man. I've met
possibly
some real
to the
life
goddess.
angels, real life demons in my life, so like through people, I mean. Yeah,
Okay,
it's true. I mean, God and goddess in training, basically what we mean by that is you're becoming divine or an enlightened being. You're constantly improving and you're growing towards that level of enlightenment. Vajrayana specifically, as I'm connected to that path, believes in the quickest, most swiftest path towards enlightenment, not wasting like thousands of years to, I mean, of course, you would need thousands of years of spiritual insight. Maybe you're an old soul, right? That's collected all that, but you're in your new life, you've completely
sure.
forgot. So by tapping into this
Yes.
God memory, almost this God fractal memory, you tend to activate your most divine or higher self through your life and living. So
Uh-huh. You're
that's
reminding me of that we as human beings, and this is kind of our slogan, Gods in Training, aka Gods doing internship in on Earth.
yeah,
We all of us, or I would say like the 99.9 to the infinity, right? Of us have spiritual amnesia. And
yeah,
because we have been granted through our spirit guides the ability to create spells in the form of, we call them cards. We could put these cards in our astral Primal Sutra plane and have them activated at all times to give a little bit more context, right?
yeah,
In this case, imagine a card where as you progress in the game, you unlock more aspects or more wisdom or knowledge or whatever of your previous lives, especially lessons and wisdoms and knowledge that might be extremely useful in this lifetime.
yeah. And Bill, like the
And that's
next
something I'm
one
thinking about.
that matches with
But
what you said is that, blending the discipline with the surrender, like knowing when to let
yes,
go and knowing when to trust the process.
it's like poker, right? Knowing when to show them, knowing
Yeah.
when to fold them, and
Yeah.
that's and the knowing when to. That's the play.
Yeah.
There's a time to be an absolute soldier and do your morning routines, nighttime routines, etc. And there's also a time to, if shit happens, it's not the time to be a soldier. It's time to surrender to whatever the universe has given you. Being, let's say, I had a shadow work day. Oh, and even if I had a shadow work day, I still needed to train, and
Yeah.
that means translated in real time, real world language, it would be as I'm getting my ass whooped in wrestling and grappling, the emotions of frustration that I felt were so extreme that I
Mm.
had to keep myself together through meditations and breath work, etc., and just stay in that pocket of discomfort until the lesson or what has been learned or whatever challenge has been passed successfully.
Mm. Yeah, and that goes with
But
what the
that's
next
my
one
way.
is, Ryan. The It unleashes the beast yet heals the soul. I think that,
That's correct.
people can actually use primal energy as a very deep healing
Yeah,
and self-comfort, not as
yeah,
a destructive
yeah.
force. Yeah. And the next one, women
So
crave him, of course. So in the other one, we said that, women, he repels women. And what was it? So let me just go back. Repels women and alienates men. Women
yeah,
crave him, men aspire to be him. Yeah.
yeah,
Admiration
yeah.
from both men and women, desire from both. Yeah. Speeding up the timeline because he can. I love that. The
Right.
ability to just
What would be the
accelerate progress.
definition? What would be the definition of a timeline, Sumit?
Timeline is the current narrative trajectory reality that you're on. So it's basically your
Right.
ideas around your current version of you in your life and in your time. So
I see.
yeah, when you speed up the timeline, basically it means that you're going way ahead of your time. You're tapping into futuristic energies and you're pulling them through into the nowness. So when you speed up the
I see.
timeline, you're
Yeah,
saving yourself years of a learning curve, essentially, because it's
I
just much
see. I
faster.
see.
Yeah.
I've interpreted the timelines a little bit different.
Mm.
For me, it would be, let's say, uh, the multitude of different timelines as different universes that are
Yeah, you can think of them
happening
as
at the
parallel
same time.
universes. Yeah, parallel universes as
Exactly.
well. Yeah.
And because I'm a type of being that I like to min-max everything, minimize the bullshit, maximize the profits in whatever way that I can,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the situation that I'm in.
Mm.
And I'm also looking at every way that I can not just speed up the timeline, but also increase the quality of time that I have in the now. For example,
Yeah.
there had to be made a choice whether I go to work or just park and have a quality conversation with you, Sumit. And I chose
Yeah.
the latter,
Right. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I had
Thank
a
you for your
funny
time, brother.
feeling,
So Ryan is actually going to work right now, and he stopped for this. So thank you,
right?
brother, for blessing us with your energy and your wisdom. And
Naturally.
I love this one, Big Vajra energy. I think we talked about it before. It kind of makes fun of
Yeah,
the whole big dick energy thing. Like I think
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Vajra
yeah,
is life
yeah.
force, so it's this indestructible power that gives you more strength and spiritual power as well. So
That is
yeah,
correct. If
it cuts
one
through
thing,
BS.
just to give a little bit of my side of the philosophy,
Hmm.
um, if Vajra is the life force, right, and money is currency, currency is electricity, and Vajra is also seen as electricity or lightning, then
Hmm.
there already you're starting to see that the healthier you are, the wealthier you are. Let's
Right,
continue. Emotion is energy in motion. The more you can feel into the emotions that you're experiencing and learn to work with them and learn to guide the emotion into something productive,
right,
the more you get shit done, the happier you should be. And even
definitely.
if you combine it all together, imagine your healthiest form, your most productive form. You're getting shit done, you're feeling great about yourself, you're achieving things. You make time to enjoy your achievement with yourself, your team, your loved ones, etc. That sounds
Yeah.
like a great game that I would love to win and play. Hell,
Oh
that's a
yeah,
game I would like to play repeatedly.
yeah. Because
And
once you
that's my
maintain like
understanding.
a balanced
But
energy system while achieving significant progress and accomplishments, like you get this momentum, this fuel to just do better and do more. Like I know when, so it
yes,
says this one is interesting, Ryan. It says channels entities that support their mission. And previously it
that's
was
correct.
like disconnected from supportive entities. So I think that once you really are on your shit, on your purpose, there will be spiritual beings that come around you that want to support you on
Right,
that. And to
right.
have the ability
Let
to
me
connect with them, that's what we can help you with.
all right.
Yeah.
Let me add a few things to that.
Yeah.
Imagine um scene one, right? You go through life, not knowing that there are beings in different timelines and dimensions, etc., be it
Mm.
ancestral or just because they love your energy, would like to work with you.
Right.
Imagine if you didn't know that. And then
Mm.
on your deathbed, for some
Mm.
reason, this team of spirit guides finally introduce themselves and go, bro,
Mm.
you did a good job, but man, would have life been more fun if you had known of us?
Mm.
And it's in that, man, it would have been great if I had known. That's why you have your spirit team, spirit guide
Mm.
team, or whatever you want to call it. Now we use
Mm.
a chakra based system because we believe energies that want to work with you tend to have a lower price, tend to, and sometimes they just work with you for free, tend to work with you for free. And hell, if these energies are similar to yours or frequency wise, and you believe in the God fractal, then you guys are pretty much neighbors. You guys are from the same hood. You guys have the same type of mission, and it's only whether we can make an optimal team and get shit done that becomes a bigger question. So that's something we also like D to work, to chakra work, and the
Yep.
deities tend to know certain aspects of you significantly better than you do because you would be the general being, the soul, or whatever you want to say, and the beings tend to know you a little bit better than you know you.
Right.
That's
And
all it is. And
I just wanted to give
uh,
the audience an analogy, Ryan. Like, what about the instead of the hamster wheel, it's the shuriken, right? Uh, because it can
yeah,
go
it
anywhere, it
makes
can
sense.
cut through, it cuts through the BS, it cuts through the noise. And yeah, it's a tool that you can wield. You're not on a hamster wheel, which is already predetermined and presupposed that you're going to be a loser, right? With the shuriken mentality, you can
Uh,
move wherever, like a Beyblade, kind of in a sense. Like,
yeah, yeah, that's true. I can see what you mean. I
yeah,
was thinking more in lines of the archer, the bow, and the
yeah,
arrow, and its target.
you're cutting
Like
some
all
sorrow
all
wheel.
four must exist at the same time and be aligned in order to achieve
Yeah.
even hitting the target, let alone the bullseye, right? And if you
Mm.
want to talk about Beyblade, I don't know Beyblade that well, but I love the whole idea of being one with the entity to the point where should you rip the shit out of that Beyblade
Mm.
well enough and know how to
Right.
use it. I don't know to
Straight up.
what extent the user of the Beyblade has an effect on it, but I can imagine if you had, and it's only a matter of trusting in your own ability and the abilities of those that are on your team, being a deity, be it human beings, and anything in between, angels, demons, aliens, who cares, who knows, spirits of the ancestors.
Yeah, like bears from the ninth dimension, like random toads from the sixth
Yeah, why not?
portal, yeah, opening or whatever.
Why
Yeah,
not?
like
Why
random
not?
stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
If infinity is possible, then that means there might be a near infinite amount of possibilities. And if there's
Mm-hmm.
near infinite amount of possibilities of deities that want to work with me, then I want to work with the very best.
That's right.
And that also means that I expect the very best of me. And if I can't get it now, then that means I'm learning to get the very best from what I can get out of this lifetime. That's all I want to
Mm,
do. Be it in
yeah.
relationships, business, career, and hell, it doesn't matter if I feel down, a job still needs to get done. And
Yeah,
that's
imagine
all it is.
having a spiritual consultant that actually assists you with your endeavors, right? Like if you
Yeah.
are working on a project, let's say it's not getting done, there's clearly some
Ah,
energetic
yeah.
blocks, emotional blocks, things that you got to go through in order to make that brilliant. So
Yes.
once you ungunk yourself, because unfuck yourself basically,
Right.
but ungunk yourself, then you can actually move forward with the flow. And that's what the priest beast
I see.
embodies. So
That
fear-based
is correct.
mentality to flow-based mentality. That's really what it
There you go.
represents.
Anything else we need to go over, Sumit? Just double checking
No,
before
I think
I head on
I
over back to it.
no, I think this is great and a great place to end. So if the audience has any questions, yeah, shout out Prosper P. Yeah, thank you. He's saying good quality
Hey,
of the
Apostrophe,
live.
good to see you.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Appreciate it. And yeah, may you never be the same.
The same again.
Again, thank you for tuning in once again. This is Primal Sutra. Hit all the links. You know, we do all these free events,
Yeah.
primalsutramysteryschool.com. You know, let's we have a new payment link, so just message myself or Ryan G if you want to sign up for the adepts, and yeah, we'll tap in. Let's
Yes. The
go.
website has yet to be changed. I'm working on that.
Gotcha.
I
Sweet.
think by this week I should be done with everything. Yeah.
Sweet.